Hey y'all, how you doing?
Mess with me. She always trying to mess with me before, trying to get me to say something goofy when we go online.
Well, I just want to know how you was spending money this week. Y'all see our shirts? Y'all see our shirts? What you think? We'll
Let us
tell you about them
know.
in a
Let us know what you think.
minute. I'll tell you about them in a minute. We did not think that we could retire. We retired in 2022.
Yeah,
The plan was to retire in 2025
or thereabouts.
ish.
Ish.
The plan was November, right after the election. So November 2025 or so is when we thought we would be able to retire,
Fingers
right?
crossed, toes crossed, everything was crossed. But we decided, oh, heck no.
Look, y'all know I was crazy. I was crazy. There was no way on God's green earth that we could last for 3 more years. There's just no way. But when we came up with the plan, we could not figure out how we could do it more quickly
Yeah.
until we really thought about it. And what was the key?
Trying to find somewhere that we could live to lower our expenses.
Right. Lower our cost of living. That was the key.
Yeah.
That was the key. And it's like, duh. Why didn't we think of that before? The key to financial independence is controlling your expenses. It does not matter how much money you make. When you hear about professional ball players and all this other stuff ending up broke,
they're getting more money
in the
po
house, right?
That door's going to slam shut.
It's hot in here, y'all. So when you hear about professionals, who make a lot of money and still end up broke, then you know that financial independence is not just about how much money you make.
Right. It's not.
So the key is controlling expenses. And there are the 4 major expenses: transportation, housing, food, and healthcare.
Yep. You got to have those in order to live.
That's just survival level right there, right? That's just survival level. So if you can lower those 4 major expenses dramatically, then one of 2 things can happen. Either you're going to get to financial independence faster, you can pay off debt faster, or you may find if you're debt free and you've got some income coming in like we did, we found a place that we could live off of the amount of income that was coming in.
Yep. And now we're doing that.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. People want to act like it's this, wild, crazy thing. You got the Ormans of the world and stuff like that talking about you need $10 million. And maybe you do if you want to retire in the Bay Area or Switzerland. But for normal people who want to just be normal and relax, take a vacation here and there, do some traveling, blah, 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 and got to stay in the Ritz-Carlton every single time.
Stress-free life.
A stress-free life. What did Adelia say? That FIRE stands for financial independence, relaxation, and ease. I heard that. Yeah. If you are past the early retirement, retire early, as we technically were, then relaxation and ease. I love it. I absolutely love it. So the key to FI is controlling expenses.
Controlling your expenses.
So we've got a treat for you. We found 3 cities in the country that we love that you can live for how much?
$1,500
or less, y'all, or less. But first, why don't we introduce ourselves? But we can get started right away. Boom, 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 boom. But I think we should introduce ourselves for those who are new to our channel. Hey, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money. I think that's obvious, right? Money, travel, and retiring abroad. As we try and build generational wealth, we'll see about that. Or maybe we'll just spin down to 0. I say that every single time because we're going to see. We're going to see.
I'm with you.
Right. So today we're going to talk about 3 cities that you can live for $1,500 or less here in Portugal.
Yeah.
our happy place.
All right.
But for those of you who are new to our channel, let me tell you, about 6.5 years ago, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age, and we looked at our money, and it looked crazy. We did not have anywhere close to the amount of money that we needed to retire.
No, it was cray.
He was depressed. So about 3.5 years ago,
unhappy.
you said depressed.
Okay, a little bit.
So about 3.5 years ago, we did get our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 in net worth to over 1 million as of today. Actually, 1,100,000 I saw.
Cha-ching.
Gotta love those applications that let you know what your net worth is. If you don't know what we're talking about, get the Ready to Retire Toolkit.
Come on in.
It's down below. Oh, okay. We're going to go ahead and close it.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so hot. Get the Ready to Retire Toolkit, which is down below, and then you can see what your net worth is as well. So before we get too far in, let's see who we've got in the chat. If you're watching from the future, hey, let us know in the chat where you are logging in from. Jess is logging in. Boa tarde a todos. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. Hey, Greta.
Hey, Greta.
Valerina and our friend Action VJ. Always
Action
yes. Hit that like button.
How you doing, buddy?
So yes, if you like what we talk about, please hit that subscribe. Share this information with friends. Y'all, we are on a mission. We're on a mission because it took us too long to figure out this money thing. And we do not want, especially people from our community, folks who look like us, being enslaved to the system that is America. We want freedom for y'all. We want freedom.
Peace of mind.
Yes. Hey, Melanie, how you doing? Are you guys back? Are you still out there in those other international streets? Hey, Karen Louise.
Hey, Karen Louise.
we got both Gretas are in the house, I think. We got Vicky and Kay Renee. Christy G has already called us the Bluetopians. Between her and Regina, I don't know. Is that what we're calling ourselves now?
Are we going to be Bluetopians, or let us know? What do you want us to be?
What's the name of our tribe here? Hey, Greta, good to see you. Damien is in the house. Latina Yogi. Helen Hall Rivers looks like a new name. Welcome from Delaware. All face red heart shape. Okay, so you might be putting some kind of icon in there, and this third party application is not picking it up. So we apologize if that is the case. Hey, Winnie, BP. Tanya, peace and blessings. Deborah is in the house. Hello. Meriton. Tanisha, I saw you. Was that yesterday? Because I think we missed. I know I missed Rashida because we were at somebody's house getting fed today. Hey, D.
Oh my God.
Yes. Hey, Professor. Good to see you. Deborah, Auntie Trey.
How you doing?
Alexandria, Sir Pantherman is in the house. Alberto Figueroa. Hello, my friends. Are you back? We are back in Portugal. Yes, we've been back and we're on our way out. So, hey, Krishan, glad you can make it in. Y'all know that we have partnered with Black Global to host the very first ever Move to Portugal virtual summit geared towards us. Us. We know who us is, right? Hey, Peggy. June is in the house. Do you like the shirts? So June is the one who made these shirts.
Created these shirts for us.
Isn't it nice? We look good. Hello, hustle, health, then wealth. I love it.
Yes.
From Denver, Colorado, and Houston, Texas. Okay, so you know that we're not originally from Denver, but
we lived there long enough.
Yeah, we moved from Denver here. So yes. Controlling your living expenses is key. We try to tell y'all. And we will let you know. Renee, hello from Vegas. I plan to relocate to Portugal by next summer or sooner. Yay!
Hopefully sooner.
Yes, Greta loves the shirts. Hey, Battle Axe from San Jose. Killer Queen is in the house. Junket, we've got Pinky. I'm loving the t-shirt, right? Hey, Nicole. All right, y'all, we're going to get started. We've got D. Hello, hello, hello. Life with Sister Spice.
Sister Spice.
That sounds like a new name.
Yeah.
Sister Spice. I like that. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yep, see, Regina's in there with Bluetopians. I don't know, y'all. We got finally caught live. Yay. Yes, we go live every Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Mountain Time.
8:30 our time.
8:30 p.m. our time. Yeah. Yes, Nubian Net is in the house. All right, we're going to get started. So we said the key to financial independence is controlling your expenses. We figured out, and you might figure out, that you can get to FI faster if you do geo arbitrage, if you move to a place where the cost of living is less, but you're still bringing in the same amount of income. That second part is key too. So you don't want to move to a place that has a lower cost of living and then make less money.
Right.
That's not going to work. That is not going to work. So I'm trying to pull up my notes here.
I was going to say, did you look up my word concur?
I did, and you're absolutely right, sweetheart. Do you concur?
See?
Do you concur?
Give me a kiss. Show me a kiss.
All right.
Right.
I'm going to Google it.
You Googled it.
I will Google.
Can you believe that?
I will. I don't care what anybody says. If I'm not positive that you are right, I'm gonna Google it. I'm that person. That's who I am. All right. So our very first city. You ready?
Very first city in Portugal for under $1,500 or less to live in is Braga.
Yes. Braga.
A good destination for retirees in Portugal because it has rock bottom prices, y'all, relative to the rest of Europe. It's the third largest municipality in Portugal, and it's still under 150,000 people, y'all. So there's room. There's room. The broadband is very good. It's 10 megabytes per second or whatever. 2.6 megabytes for upload speeds. Purchasing power is $54.16. Is that for every $100?
So so the purchasing power, in other words, what it cost in New York City, what $100 worth of stuff costs in New York City, in Braga costs 54. So it's 50% or more, about 50% cheaper than living in New York City.
Quality of life is high. Quality of healthcare is high. Crime level very low, in the population. Pollution level is very low. That's Braga.
Highly walkable. So I'm going to remove that, and we're going to get to some more of the expenses and kind of break that down. Sorry about that noise from the outside, but we cannot close that window because it's hot in here. Yeah.
I told you they were going to wait till we started.
Right. It was so quiet. I was like, this is a quiet Sunday. What's going on?
Yeah, just wait till we start. Start singing and making,
So you can live in Braga for $1,365. That's dollars, not euros. Okay. And how does that break down? So the databases that we use to get these numbers are in the Ready to Retire Toolkit. So if you don't have it, get it. Of course, those who are in Beyond the Bling, Money Mindset Makeover for Financial Independence also have access to this, but you can just Google it. So it's $1,365 for a single person. Now, obviously, you don't double it if you're a couple because you still only have the one house, right? So the one set of utilities and things like that. So this is for a one-bedroom apartment outside of the city center. The average rent would be $597. A one-bedroom apartment, $597. Your heating, electricity, water, and things like that are going to average about $135, and then internet plus cable, and it probably comes with a home phone as well, is going to be $32. We pay €35 for cable, internet, and a home phone, which of course we don't use the home phone. So So that is $954 for housing. Food comes to about $175 a month, and then other expenses. So they're saying the average mid-range restaurant 3-course meal for 2 people is about $70 or $35 a piece. An inexpensive meal is $35. And now that's $70, that's high. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people are. Because just Wednesday, Rick and I got fresh pasta made, fresh meal, pasta and wine was, or any kind of drink, but for wine, it was €8.16.
Yeah.
And that was like 2 glasses of wine per person, €8.16. So $70 for a mid-range. I think this is actually, that might be their version of mid-range, but that sounds like high range if you ask me. We've had a meal for 4 people that came to about €60.
Yeah.
With
wine,
starters,
yeah,
and all of that kind of stuff. So that 70 is high. Inexpensive meal at an inexpensive restaurant, €8 per person. Oh, for 4 people, 35. That sounds about right. Transportation pass, I can just tell you it's going to be €40 per person. Fitness club on average about 40, cinemas and things like that about $7, and that's $7, and that's anytime. That's not matinee. So, other things like eating out and entertainment, they're estimating at $235, giving you a total of $1,365 per month for a person to live in Braga.
And Braga is just a little bit inland.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
and a little further north.
The Atlantic Ocean isn't that far.
No, Portugal is not that big, y'all. The country is not that big. So let's see what you all are talking about. So that's Braga. Okay, so Umberto, I just found out that I'm 47% Portuguese. Can I get citizenship? Baby, I don't know. If you got that from ancestry.com, probably not. If you can point, this is my understanding, you need to do your own research. If you can point to your grandparent, a direct line grandparent that was Portuguese citizen, then perhaps, but don't expect it to happen overnight.
No, it's going to take a while. A friend of mine, his wife, her grandfather was Portuguese, and it took her 5 years actually to get her Portuguese passport.
Yeah.
But she got it.
Exactly. So Gerald asked, does Portugal have financial requirements for visa or residency? It absolutely does. For those wanting to immigrate to another country, it may seem daunting and it may seem like a lot of hoops you have to jump, but let's look at it this way. In order to get a visa to the United States, it's 2 ways. There is no retirement visa to the United States. You either have to be a refugee person, right, in that kind of situation, or sponsored by a job, family reunification. Other than that, you're not going to the United States. So for Portugal, you have to, it depends on what kind of visa. The D8 visa has a higher requirement. I think it's around $4,000 per month at this point. And so that's for the digital nomad visa. The D8 visa, where you're a W-2 employee, may have a different number. For the D7 retirement passive income visa, it's about, I would say, for a couple, about $1,100 to $1,200. It probably is a little less, but if you budget for that, then you're good to go. So it's minimum wage plus half of minimum wage for the second person. All right. And then, of course, all of this you will learn at our Move to Portugal Virtual Summit, which I have just put a link in the chat.
So there was something further up.
Okay. So
Victoria.
Okay. So Victoria Hayward.
I believe I said that quality of life and quality of healthcare were high, not crime.
No.
Crime is low.
Yes. So Portugal is one of the safest countries in the world. I think number 6. It's number 6.
I want to say number, yeah, because I think of the healthcare and the other things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's way up there as far as being safe.
So we're everywhere. And Diane, so there are Black folks all over Portugal. There are Black people that are born and raised here for generations, just like we're born and raised in America for generations. And then there are immigrants, right? Is there a huge English-speaking Black community in Braga? No. Are there English-speaking Black people in Braga? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and here's the thing. Like with Michelle of San Miguel de Allende, if you guys don't know, there were not really any Black people in San Miguel de Allende before she moved there. And now it is a destination. So come on. If you like Braga, other people will come. Other people will come.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. Yes, you should start now. You should start now. And as far as getting your passport, you get a visa a lot faster than you can get a passport. But if you're not financially ready to move, then yeah, start seeing if you can get that done. Hey, Phyllis.
Is it less hilly?
I don't know because we haven't been to Braga yet. But the fact that it's inland, it might be less hilly, but I'm not sure because
from the pictures and different things I've seen, I didn't see it being as hilly as Lisbon.
Right, but Coimbra is inland as well, and it is, in my opinion, at least steeper hills. So, the Algarve is less hilly. You're not going to get away with no hills. You're just not. But, between public transportation and things like that, you're good to go. There you go, Jess. See, silver linings. We know people who have lived in Lisbon for 10 years, y'all, and cannot speak the language. I refuse. I practice every single day with somebody. And half the time they get frustrated and say, English. And I continue on with my crappy Portuguese because you won't learn if you don't try.
But most people will try to help you out.
They do.
Listen. They don't.
They do. They'll correct you.
They'll correct you
most of the time.
And I mean, at the store down the street we go to all the time, they're used to us now.
Yeah.
So they just kind of laugh but they help us through it.
Yep, they do. They do. They teach us new things.
I even said my NIF number to my pharmacist the other day, and she just
in Portuguese,
and she just had the biggest smile on her face. She said, "You got it." I said, "This time. I'll probably forget next time."
Gerald asks, I'm a retired military vet in the early 60s, financially doing well, thank goodness, thank God. Have TRICARE for life, Medicare, of course, and very good health. Thankful. What are the healthcare options in Portugal? So veterans tend to have a hodgepodge where they're using part VA stuff and part private. So Portugal has universal health care, which you have access to as soon as you become a legal resident of Portugal, temporary or otherwise. So there's that. You have to have private insurance on top of that just to get that initial visa and green card. Okay. So, they didn't check mine. They didn't check yours either, did they? No, they did not. They didn't check it. But don't assume that they're not going to. So, and the private public works a lot different than our orientation in the United States. So, Gerald, if you're in the United States, you obviously are, if you're talking about TRICARE and Medicare. Don't think of public and private the way we think about it in the United States. Again, we have Serenity Healthcare is one of the sponsors of our Move to Portugal Virtual Summit. And they, as well as other experts that we have, are going to talk about the healthcare system here, the differences between the healthcare system here and and what we have in the United States, so that you can understand how insurance works, how the system works, and the quality is top notch, and it's affordable.
Very affordable.
Affordable, y'all. With no insurance, I got a mammogram and sonogram, 110 euro. In America, it's 500 at Sally Joe. 500. Yep. So, hey, Isan. All right. So, number 1 is Braga. Isan, is it possible to get someone on your site from each of these cities? No, because we've got them for the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit, Isan one. So far we have someone. I got to follow up with Coimbra. We've got Porto. We're getting somebody from the Silver Coast. Of course, we've got Lisbon, and we're getting someone from the Algarve. So we're getting someone from the major areas. We'll try to find somebody from Braga. So yes, as well as LGBTQ, as well as a family that moved here with a child. Okay, so we want to make sure we get representation from all of the subsets of our community. So y'all can ask questions and see what they have to say about the cities that they live. So the weather in Braga is cooler than it is in Lisbon. And to me, Lisbon weather is like Southern California weather. In the winter, it's rainy, it's cool, it's foggy, but not cold, right? Hovers in the 50s and 60s, right? And then in the summertime, it's hot, warm to hot. So Braga is more, I would say, more like the Bay Area or something like that. It's cooler because it's up north. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions. Okay. Is there still time to pay for the November summit? Why, yes.
Oh, yes. I'm going to close this window.
Okay.
They're getting louder.
They are getting louder. So I just posted the link again. We are still at early bird pricing. The pricing is going to change next month. And this is August 27th. The pricing is going to change. Today's prices are not tomorrow's prices. So yes, there is public transportation in Braga. So yes. All right. So let's move on to number 2. Oh, humidity level. Does it say humidity level? Let's see.
I didn't see humidity.
Let me see if I can pull that up right quick, because we still have it up. Let's see if they go that deep into the weather. They do go into the weather. So go back. Oh, no, don't go back. Just close this. Stay right there. And let's pull up Braga. And
well, she's looking for that too. It's very walkable. It gets like a 96 score on walkability. So it's a very walkable place.
So, of course, they have this in Celsius. Let me change this to Fahrenheit. All right. So, for Braga's weather, the lows in the summertime are 65-ish on the low, and the high is 85. And that's July, August. And then it starts coming back down, with the highs in the wintertime being in the 70s and the lows being in the low 60s to high 50s. It can get down as low as 48 in January. And that's probably at night. So that gives you some idea. The humidity in the winter goes up, it goes down in the summertime. And all of this information can be found in the databases that we use, which is in the Ready to Retire Toolkit. So that is the humidity in Braga. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull up Coimbra is the next one.
So the next one is Coimbra. And this one we've had before on
almost every best
city is Coimbra. Coimbra is a university town. It's one of the oldest universities in Europe that was founded in Coimbra, and that was in 1290.
The 13th century, y'all.
It used to be the capital of Portugal before Lisbon was. It's very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Population is 105,842. Bandwidth is very good. Upload and download. Upload speeds are 1.7 megabytes per second. Download is 9.3 megabytes. Purchasing power is $51.04. Traffic, yeah, 130.02. Is that just the index
That's
of it?
bad. That's bad.
Yeah,
That's
that's
worse
not
than
great.
that's worse than let's remove this. That is worse than New York City, y'all. Yeah, and we witnessed it.
But they're small cars.
We witnessed that. Remember when we went to Coimbra, the Uber driver said, now don't get scared. This is how he starts off when we get in the car. Now don't be afraid, but
because I was born here, so I know the streets.
Those streets are so narrow and curvy and straight up. And we've got video. We need to put together that video.
It's an adventure, yeah.
Inches on each side of the car. I just like this.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it truly is an adventure.
I wouldn't be driving, but other people might. It's a highly walkable city.
Quality of life is good. Healthcare is very high quality healthcare. Crime level, again, low. You're in Portugal, so crime level is going to be lower. Pollution level is low with all the cars. It's still low.
Yep.
It is walkable.
Yes.
It's not 96% walkable or 6 score. It's more like 89.
Yeah.
But it's walkable.
That.
And we've walked it.
Yeah. When we were there, the only time we took an Uber was when we were going, to the train station.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we walked. We didn't even take public transportation when we were there, did we? No.
No, we didn't.
Mm-mm. So let's talk about the numbers. Let's dig into the numbers. So a 1-bedroom apartment outside of the city center is going to be $430 a month. A 1-bedroom apartment outside of the city center, $430 per month. You're going to pay about $110 a month for your utilities, about $36 a month for internet, cable, and all of that stuff. So for a total of $784. If these numbers don't add up exactly to 784, it's because the database that we use adds a rider so that it normalizes it out. So it's multiplying it to 1.25. So it's not going to totally add up, but about $784 for your housing expenses, grocery expenses. And you guys, when we both for this one and the other, when we talked about grocery expenses, it did include beer and wine. Didn't include hard alcohol, but it did include beer and wine. And so the grocery expenses is about $189. And when it comes to the meals, looks like they're making it a little bit more expensive. But here's the interesting part. They've got a mid-range restaurant for 2 people at $75 for 2 people, as opposed to $70 in Braga. Again, here in Lisbon, we don't even spend that. Have we ever spent $75 for 2 of us? Even when we went to the all-you-can-eat Brazilian place, and you got that huge thing with seafood and all of that,
I think
it was like 40.
Most we spent is just a little over 50.
Yeah. And that's for everything.
Everything.
Everything. Starters, dessert, everything.
But I'm sure you can find restaurants where you can find.
Oh, you can easily spend that kind of money if you want to. But average? I remember when we were in Coimbra, we went to a small mom and pop place, and you got hamburger, fries, and a beer. And I got hamburger, fries, and a pop or something, or bubble water. And each one was €3.50 for all of that. €3.50 in Coimbra in the tourist area. You hear me? So, and this was just last summer. This was just last summer. So, I would take some of these prices with a grain of salt, but it's better to err on the side of it being more expensive than less expensive, right? So, monthly transport pass they're saying is $32, and fitness club about 39, cinemas $7.50 per person for two people, €15. So they're putting the entertainment at about $251 per month for a total. What is the total? $1,225. You can live in Coimbra as a single person for $1,225 per month. Meanwhile, the average Social Security check is $1,500 a month. Coimbra. We like Coimbra.
Coimbra's beautiful.
Yeah. When we get back from Spain, we're definitely going to take a trip up north. We'll probably check out Braga, Aveiro, and the Douro Valley, because we're talking about wine tour.
Got to do the wine tours and got to go back to Portugal.
Right. So Nubian had said, I spent €42 in Lisbon and Gaia for nicer restaurants. I think it's accurate. You spent €42 just for yourself. That's expensive. And so it depends on, like, we tend not to eat down in the tourist area. We tend to eat up where we live, away from the tourist area. And, homemade, let's just talk about lunch, right? Homemade burgers and fries and stuff like that all the time are under €5 all day long. You can get a glass of decent wine at these small mom and pop place for under €2 all day long. If you go where the tourists are, or if you go to a chain, that's a different story. But if you go to the mom and pops, get the prato do dia, the plate of the day, something like that, it's going to be between €7 and €10.
Definitely go where the locals go. Find out where the locals
And
go.
that's even at white tablecloth restaurants, right? Where they're going to do all that stuff. Is Coimbra across the river from Lisbon?
No, Coimbra is further north.
Yeah, so Coimbra is a good, let's see, hour and a half train ride or so,
Oh, yeah.
2 hours maybe, from here, from Lisbon. Across the river is Casillas and Almada. So Almada is the larger area on the other side of the Tagus or the Tejo River. All right. So yeah, Coimbra is in the center. I mean, it's inland. It's a university town. It's very steep. It's old. It's very, very, very old. Like, it was the first capital of Portugal, right? And so the preservation of the architecture there, especially around the university, is just astounding. It is gorgeous. They have a gorgeous botanical garden.
Oh yeah, it's just beautiful.
Right?
But they do have modern buildings.
Yeah, they've got a lot of new.
buildings.
As a matter of fact, a friend of ours moved into a brand new condo. And so yeah, there's definitely new build there, as far as refurbished build. But you can also find the very, 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 very old.
That's where we stayed, in a little tiny Airbnb.
Yeah.
If you sneeze, you'd probably get snot on somebody.
It was small.
It was.
The whole thing was about the size of our living room.
Yeah.
So Helen asked, what side of the driver's side? Oh, they drive on the right side.
They drive on the right side, just like the U.S.
As a matter of fact, little did I know when I was younger, I thought everyone in Europe drove on the wrong side of the street.
I did too.
No, only Brits and where they've colonized drive on the wrong side of the street. It appears to me, right? Yeah. Probably India. I don't know, but
yeah,
right. As far as I know, all of the countries that are on our list drive on the right side of the street. So yeah, so that's not going to be an issue if you want to rent a car and drive up the coast and do all of that. You can drive from one end of the country to the other in a day, easily,
Mhm.
easily. But we are going to take the time to rent a car and actually take a week or two, as one of our Uber drivers in Porto said.
Yeah.
We'll take the
Just take the
coast,
time and go
and then
up
we'll
the
come
coast.
back the center, the highway down the center, and just check out all of the places in between. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now that I feel settled. How are the museums? So the museums that we have been through have been beautiful, interesting, different.
They are so amazing. They are amazing.
Yeah, as a matter of
truly.
fact, we still have a couple of videos that we need to put together. I only looked in one in Coimbra, but obviously as a university town, they're going to be above par. We have a lot more to do as far as visiting things like museums and things like that. We've only gone to the unusual ones. We haven't gone to the traditional like art museums and things like that.
But we went to the theater museum. Got to put I just been kind of slacking, but I got to put that together because we went to the theater museum and it was like just amazing, amazing. All the puppeteer stuff, the outfits and it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And they were teaching kids there.
And they were teaching kids.
So that's always cool. All right. So BP asks about apartment life. If you are now in Braga and all of these places, which are smaller cities, you're going to have a little bit more affordable access to single family homes. Okay. So let's just put that out there. Lisbon is the Washington, D.C. of Portugal, right? It's the capital of the country. It is a dense city. Dense like Manhattan, but safe, walkable. And you don't have high rises, you have old architecture, right? Older architecture. But it's dense. There are single family homes. They're a little bit away from the city center. I like the energy of apartment life. Do we hear people's arguments? We could.
You could if you left your windows open or something if they're arguing.
Yeah. It's amazing what these windows lock out. As you see, once
Once
we close that window,
close one, you can't hear. But if I open that window, you'll hear whatever's going on because everybody has their windows open.
Right. And the way they build a lot of the apartments, not all, is there's a courtyard in the center. I like when they do things that way because then all of the clothes that are hanging are in the inside, not facing the street with all that exhaust and everything. So yeah. But courtyard means echo.
Yeah.
Right. As far as doors slamming and things like that.
I haven't heard that.
We do occasionally hear the doors slamming from within. So if you think about it, when people are walking up the stairs, they are literally just on the other side of your front door when they're walking up the stairs. If you live in a building with an elevator, you're not going to necessarily get a lot of the foot traffic as we do. So when I'm in the bedroom that is closest to the front door, I can hear when people are loudly walking up the stairs or if somebody slams their door.
But they're not usually doing that throughout the night.
No. And the other thing is people are not, I don't hear other people's toilets flush.
No.
But there's kind of a common courtesy that after a certain hour, you just don't flush the toilet. So, middle of the night, I try not to flush the toilet. I just flush it in the morning when we get up. That way, they're not hearing all of that stuff. I don't know if everybody's doing that, and that's why we never hear it.
I don't.
But I never hear it.
I'd flush it.
Oh, do you flush it?
Yeah.
I don't.
But no, you can't hear it.
But what we do hear, but back to this, we live in a diverse neighborhood. So we've got two families. One family that's over down there in the corner, and the two guys are always laughing loud. At least they're not arguing. So it's like, oh, there they go. And then in the other building on the second floor, they think they're running a karaoke bar. But they can't sing. They can't sing.
You gotta give them an A for effort.
They yell the words. That's what they do. That's what they do.
But after a certain hour, no.
It cuts off. it cuts off, right? So they do have a noise ordinance, and they do not play at 11 o'clock. You cut that stuff off. There will be people in the park. There's usually kids in the park and young people in the park. Right across the way, there are tables where we'll see young people down there on their phones playing some kind of game or this or that or the other, music playing, etc. But 11 o'clock, they quiet down. They may still be out there, but they quiet down.
Yeah, they're not yelling and hollering.
It is nothing to see parents and toddlers at the park at 10 o'clock at night.
In the wintertime, you don't see it.
No, but in the summertime,
yeah.
Safe, y'all. It's safe. It is safe. What places do you recommend we don't move to? There is no place that I recommend you don't move to, because I think it's all in your personal experience. I can tell you some places that I would never move to. Dubai. I'm not interested. I am not interested in any country where there's laws on the books that make women second-class citizens. To visit, sure, looks pretty enough, but I'm not interested in living there. I'm not interested in living in China. So, but I know Black people who have lived in both places and love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, there is no place that we would just say flat out nobody should move there. We can tell you why we wouldn't move there. So yeah. The doors are very heavy. The doors are very heavy.
Very heavy.
Jude says we flush. So yeah, and that's concrete.
Concrete walls.
They're concrete walls, but they're not insulated. So, I can hear the people upstairs. I think every Tuesday they clean the house, or somebody comes and cleans the house, and it sounds like they're moving all of the furniture. Now, they might just be dragging one or two chairs across the floor. I don't know. But it doesn't bug me. I think the thing is, when you're stressed out, every little thing gets on your nerves. Every little thing gets on your nerves. Here they go again, because you're stressed out. But once you eliminate financial stress, which can help you eliminate the other stresses, because it can get you out of that situation, get you away from being over-policed, get you away from the keeping up with the Joneses and all that other craziness that they're dealing with in the United States, that whole mentality of hustle, 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 hustle. Once you change your mind about all of that, and on top of that, you don't have to worry about how the bills are getting paid ever again. Door slamming is like, whatever. It just doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Now, everybody's different, but do apartments there include roaches and mice and other pests?
I haven't seen roaches. I haven't seen mice. I've seen these little freaking gnats.
Gnats.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
They have the flies. When you leave your windows open and stuff. And most people don't have screens on their windows. We don't have screens on our windows. So you open the windows to let things cool down and stuff like that. And my biggest fear is birds flying in, but never had a bird flying in. Yeah. Hopefully we don't. The other day, in the living room, a pigeon flew up to our little balcony thing, and I happened to be standing there, and it said, "Oh, can't go in there."
Yeah.
He went on about his business. But other than that, other kind of pests, I haven't seen anything like that. In any of the places we've been here,
No.
I've never seen it.
No. So this is the third apartment that we've stayed in the Lisbon area. Yeah. We stayed in an apartment in Coimbra. We stayed in an apartment in Porto, and nothing more than ants ever. I have not seen even a baby roach, not even out in the street late at night. I have seen a mouse out there in the streets, late at night, but not a rat.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
And this is a place that has humidity, which lends itself to ants and roaches. And I mean, we put the stuff in the dishwasher, but it's not perfect. There are nights when we go to bed and the plates are in the sink, not 100% rinsed. I know Mother Vincent. She'd have a fit if she knew that.
Most of the time, I try to rinse them and put them in the dishwasher.
Yeah, but
sometimes
nothing.
you're just tired.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Halisi asked Yarbrough about China. That's what I'm talking about. Why do you think I have no interest? Between what April had to say and Adelia, I am not interested. Hey fam, how you doing? Yeah, I am not interested. But again, there are other Black folks who have lived there and love it, right? Thank you, William. Thank you. All right. Any other questions before we get to our last one? Alexandria, do you know of a company that installs window screens? No, but I'm sure it is.
Well, I'm sure there is, because there's an apartment across from us that they have a screen in their window.
They have screens.
But I think it was custom.
And our friends have screens.
Yeah.
So our friends.
You can get them.
Yeah. But this is not our apartment. But that's not their apartment either. So,
I'm sure if we asked Manuel or something like that, we probably could get them, but just haven't really had the need for them.
The flies here are drunk. I kill those flies. It's a game.
She likes killing them. She walks around with the fly swatter all the time.
All they do is just go in a circle.
See, I'm a zapper type guy. I want the zapper to be hanging up there.
Is controlling internal temperature in an apartment difficult without central air conditioning? So, first time doing Q&A. Love all the information. Yay, dark and lovely. So temperature control. I would not move into an apartment here in Portugal without at least you're not. It's going to be very, 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 very hard to find central air and central heat. Some of the new builds do have them. You are going to pay a premium. It is not energy efficient to heat a whole apartment. There's two of us. This room that we're in goes unused, a few times per week, 100% unused. We have a guest bedroom that goes 100% unused a good portion of the time. I don't want to heat either one or cool off either one of those rooms. So here, and in a lot of other countries that we've been, they have room AC heaters. Okay. And you can just turn it to AC or you turn it to heat, and they do both well.
And they do it very well.
Very well. And so in the wintertime, what we were doing is closing the door to our master bedroom, turning on the heat about 15 minutes before we go to bed. And then it's hot. And then we turn it off because then it'll get too hot. So a lot of them do have all of the ones that we have and the ones that we've seen in other countries. Italy, we saw it. Spain, we saw it. Even in Mexico, remote controls where you can put a timer, you can set it to sleep, you can set it for a certain temperature. Once it hits that, it goes off. All of that stuff. I don't do any of it. I just turn it on, turn it off manually. I don't even know how to do it, but I know it can be done. So I have not found it hard controlling the temperature.
No.
I've heard not horror stories from people who don't have air and heat, but I've heard some uncomfortable situations. I've heard the humidity can mess with your electronics. When you have the wall units, that takes some of the humidity out of the air. And so we haven't had any problems with our electronics. Are most homes equipped with a bidet? Didn't know, Eve, that's how you spelled that. I thought it was BIDET, like French, but I don't know.
I think most are.
Most have either a bidet or a bidet spray.
We have a sprayer.
And so our friend's house that we were at earlier, they have a bidet. They have a separate bidet. One of the other apartments that we stayed in had a sprayer, and the other one had a bidet.
Right.
So I don't know.
So you could just
50% maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we just hose ourselves down.
TMI. TMI.
That's what it is.
TMI.
Like a car.
Are you guys thinking about buying a home? So no, not right now.
Not right now, no.
Right now, our goal still is to save enough money to co-invest in buying a whole building with other folks. That's our goal. Is there a guided tour for Black Americans wanting to move to Portugal? No. Is there guided tours to learn about the diaspora presence in Portugal? Yes. We suggest the African Lisbon tour, and that is run by Naki. Excuse me, we did do a video with him from Coimbra. We were in Coimbra.
Yes, we were.
So that was June of last year. We did an interview with him. He can give a lot more information about the sentiments of the immigrants here from his point of view. Now, obviously, he can't speak for all immigrants, but he can definitely speak to it a lot better than we, because one, he can speak Portuguese and whatever mother tongue he speaks. So yeah. If you all do not know, there are 3 Facebook groups that we know of geared towards us. There's POCs in Portugal, there's Black in Portugal, and there's Black Americans in Portugal. So I would join all 3 of those Facebook groups, and they are run by people who live here. And then the people who are in the groups, a lot of them live here, and then some are visiting. So you can ask questions in those groups as well. Of course, our Move to Portugal Virtual Summit will have its own group. And so you'll be able to ask questions in there as well. If you decide, if you've already bought tickets and you're like, wait, what group? We have not opened up the Facebook group yet. The name is saved. We're getting it together. There's some branding that needs to be done, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody who buys a ticket will be invited to the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit group. Okay, where were we? Right here. Visiting all the cities you talk about. Yay.
All right.
Yay. You should. Join the Facebook group, and in there, ask and see who is in these different cities. I already know I know some people in Faro and in Coimbra. I don't know anybody in Braga. I know they're there, but I just don't know them personally. Do you need to buy all new electronics like cell phone and laptops? No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. These are the same laptops that we came with, same phones we came with. But what did we buy?
We bought a drone.
We bought a drone, y'all. He bought a drone.
We used my credit card.
You should have seen the cheesing that went on.
Not cheesing.
Penny, was he cheesing?
I was not cheesing.
He was cheesing. He has been watching how to and this and that videos on this drone since Wednesday nonstop, y'all.
I have to. I can't fly it yet because I can't really take it outside because I have to register it here in Portugal.
We're learning a lot about the bureaucracy.
But it's all Howard worldview. Mel, he got us stuck on it.
Yeah.
He saw the footage that Mel was taking and all the places that he and Tadasi have been going to.
We want one.
And she's like,
no. We had to wait until it was in our budget.
Well, yeah.
Right?
We weren't going to spend the money if we didn't have it to do.
Yeah.
But it's an investment.
And we pay cash. No credit. We'll put it on the credit card.
We put it on the credit card, but that's paid.
We pay cash because we've already figured out that it's in the budget.
Thanks, Mel.
Do you need to buy all new electronics? So the one thing that you do need to think about are like shavers.
Yeah.
don't like convert. You have to really get a good converter that's going to convert the energy levels. Is
Make
that how you
sure
put
they
it?
can go 120 to 220 volts or something like that. Some I had a set of like a shaver, and it didn't like that. So it actually killed it. So just make sure your wattage and stuff on things that you're bringing over here. Usually Apples and your computers and stuff are already set for that kind of thing. So they're ready for it, but smaller things like razors, electric
Yeah.
razors or shit.
If it's the kind that does not plug in, it's portable, and you're just charging it, that doesn't seem to be an issue. Then you take it off the charger and it works. But the ones that need to plug in seem to be an issue. And then for like our Apple computer, you can just buy this thing.
Apple sells what they call a world kit, and it has different plugs. It's not a converter. Get that straight. It's not a converter. It just lets you, it's an adapter kit. So it lets you change the adapters on your Apple products and stuff like that to be able to plug in, which they're already really converted. They can run off of European because Apple sold everywhere. But a converter is totally different. A converter can come in you can get big converters or small converters. I don't have mine up here at the moment. We had a small one
Yeah.
that actually converts the electricity. So when you plug it in to the wall here, it actually converts down so your appliances can handle the voltage going through it. And it has regular on the converter has regular plugs, American plugs on it. But Spain also has the same plugs as Portugal, so we should be good on those.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's his job.
I check on that all the time
That's
because
his job.
England didn't.
No, they have different.
They have different. So.
Yeah, the internet looks like it's doing weird things. How do we sound and look, y'all? So y'all thought of BAPS when you saw the bidet.
That was funny.
Penny, you're telling your age. You're telling your age. And young people are like, BAPS? What's BAPS? So, yeah, no problem. Is it Herberto? Is that what it is? Correct me. So, no problem. But I would say, I would answer the question the same, whether it's Portugal or other places. There's no place in Portugal I would not recommend living. There's places that I wouldn't want to live. Like, I love Porto, but I don't want that cool weather in the winter. Porto's beautiful. It's a little bit too small for my taste, but that's my taste, right? So maybe there's specific neighborhoods that I would suggest you avoid, right? Neighborhoods that would not make you feel like you're living in abundance. Let's put it that way, right? But as far as cities, nah. You know, I would say it all depends on what you see your life looking like and how you want that to look. As I can't remember, it was Lisa or one of our other folks in the audience that said, yeah, if you live in a place where there's less English speakers, that's going to help your Portuguese. Mm-hmm. If one of your things is to become bilingual, regardless of the language, then hey, this may be something that appeals to you, right? Yeah. I like the energy of a city. I love all of the people. I love looking out and seeing people walking across the street and this and that and the other. The city's alive. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when we walk downtown and we see the street performers and the dancers, and this person is over here playing the guitar and that person over there is playing a harmonica. That person's playing their body. I don't know what they doing. I don't know. This person over there's got the gold all over their face, right? You got rappers, you got dancers. It's like, free entertainment, y'all. Give them a little tip, and sit and watch the show. So, but that's not everybody. That is not everybody. Shop at Mercados versus grocery stores. Okay. So this could mean two different things. It looks like, doesn't it look like it's the internet is slow or something? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so what we have figured out is all of the major neighborhoods, at least here in Lisbon, have mercados. So like a farmer's market. That's how we would look at it, as a farmer's market. And then there's the mini mercados. So I'm not sure, BP, what you're meaning. So as far as the mini mercados, which are kind of like what we would call mom and pop shops, yes, we shop there all the time. We buy most of our produce from mom and pops.
When they're open, because right now they're on vacation for a month.
Honey, they are closed.
They are closed for the month.
We'll be back in September.
See?
Peace out, right? Like they don't play. They do not play. This
They're
is not
gone.
America. It's like August, we are on vacation now. He wasn't gone the whole August. I think he's just been gone for about 2.5 weeks.
Who?
Fruit guy, because he was here when we first got back.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't.
So yeah.
I know Coffee Dude was gone.
Coffee was gone. He was like, we out. But yeah, so if you're talking about the mom and pops, we shop there all the time. If you're talking about the farmers markets, you have to get up and be out of the house by a certain time to catch those. And we
ain't made it yet.
ain't made it
When
yet.
we get there,
they're closing down.
You know, they spraying out the fish thing. And,
right, exactly. But we have one just down the street. When I realized that they were in maybe not every neighborhood, but perhaps every freguesia, I was like, this is so cool. This is so cool. Did you buy new European power cords to use with your electronics?
No.
Or do you use a converter?
No,
we did buy a lot of power strips.
We get the power strips so we can plug into the things, but also we bought, and I can't pull them off, but it's you can buy them on Amazon and stuff, and they have the actual prongs for the Portuguese power, but they also on the front of it they have
the regular plug. So you can plug a United States plug.
I have one back there, but it will turn power off.
Yeah, we can't do that.
But it has the regular plugs on the front
and some USB. Yeah. So all of that stuff you can find on Amazon. You can also find it here at Hortime or
yeah, you can pretty much find that stuff anywhere.
Family of four who's used to a single family home living are looking for a friendly area that would be good for English speakers who are learning Portuguese, a place that may have Black people too. So yeah, single family home living, you know, it's not going to be in the city center. It's not going to be in the city center. So I can just say that. There's Black people everywhere. So on the other side of the river, there are gorgeous single family homes close to the beach, Costa de Caparica, that you can find. Now, again, that means you're gonna be dealing more with buses than the metro and things like that. And or you might have to have a car. So the added expense. If you choose to live in a flat, in an apartment, condo, whatever you want to call it, obviously you're not going to have a backyard, but you also probably will have easier access to transportation. So, one of the things that Christina and Amon of Our Rich Journey realized when they lived out on the Silver Coast is that they were walking less and driving more. So yes, you get the land. Yes, you get the single family home. And with that comes the necessity for a car. I don't want a car, but that's us. Right? So just build that into your budget. Rossini can help with that, but there are places just outside of the city that still have Black folks or folks who look like us. Yeah. English is taught in school here. It is compulsory. So most of the people that we run into under a certain age can speak transactional English, enough English to help you out. Okay. And then there are enough immigrants here, brown immigrants like Indian, Pakistani, they speak English before they speak Portuguese, right? As well as Brits and things like that, where they're gonna, speak English before they speak Portuguese as well. So, yeah.
Mel was saying something up there too about best tech.
The best
that's
tech.
That's what I have. I have a best tech converter. I need a new one because it's about worn out.
Yeah, ours is like 12 years old. Okay, so I just read that. Any more before we get to this last one? Un momento, por favor.
De la City.
So the last one we did was Coimbra, if that's what you're asking. So far we've got three. The first one, Braga. The second, Coimbra. And the third, we will let you know in a second if you haven't already figured it out. Okay. Do the larger grocery stores stay open and not closed for vacation? They stay open.
They stay open.
They stay open. You gotta get your food from somewhere, right?
And the malls and stuff are open.
They're open.
They're all open. It's usually the mom and pops and stores like that that will close, unless it's a holiday. But the malls stay open on the holidays too, I think.
I don't know because we don't go out.
We need to get out more.
You outside where you have to spend money. Another thing is the how Kroger and stores like that stay open till midnight every day. No, y'all. 8:30. If midnight, or like the Continent in the mall stays open till midnight in both malls, Colombo and Parque das Nações, but y'all, people go home. This notion of working people to death and stuff, like I don't know who I was talking to about the banks here. The banks close at 3:30. If you get there at 3, and you want special help, you better come back tomorrow. They will, depending upon how busy they are, they will send you away. Because at 3:30, they're not getting ready to leave. At 3:31, they're locking the door. They're out. Like life is for living, not for work. Power strip special. So, we will grab one, and show you guys, but
they have the prongs for Portugal. So they have they're totally different from the American looking, how we have the two slim flats that we stick in. Portugal, they're round, just like she showed you on the Mac.
Yeah.
So they're round. That's all their power. So you plug that into the power strips and into the wall circuits like in the United States. So they're just different and they're round. So everything is round where you stick down in there and not squared off like an American plug. They're just different.
So Heriberto, do you speak Spanish? Figueroa, it could be a lot of things. Halisi, do you like shopping for clothes there? Yeah, I don't mind. The prices are a lot better. I like that. The malls have the stores that, they have Pull and Bear and all of that. They also have like not as many department stores, more like every label has their own store. So there's a Guess store, there's a Louis Vuitton store, there's all of those in most of the malls, as well as those other chains, the H&Ms and all of that stuff. I don't shop in those type of places. Typically, I like to try and shop at the local stores, little local stores. Get better prices and stuff like that. You can get sundresses for $7 to $10 all day long. All day long.
Copy.
Bring espresso machine. Nah, this is espresso haven. You don't need any of that slow pour or use what's there. So like a Mr. Coffee, typical American, you can find them. You can find them here. Drip coffee. Yeah. You can pay a lot of money and get smeg like our friends Penny and June. Or you can just buy what's at the Continent or the Wharton or whatever. And then the little cup machines, they used to be Nespresso, but there's lots of brands now, right? Those little cup machines are everywhere.
You make
one cup at a time. They're everywhere.
Can't stand those.
The little cups are a fraction of the price that they are in the United States. I just, some of them are biodegradable, but some of them are not. So it just seems like a waste as far as the environment goes to me. Espresso machines and good espresso ground and or beans here, very, very affordable. But heck, our guy across the street is 75 cents for an espresso. 75 cents, y'all. 75 cents. You don't have to give up your lattes when you move here.
I have a drip and a French press.
Yes. So we did do a a show with someone who came here on a student visa. It's I got my son out of the USA on a student visa. So you can see that show. But the education system here, obviously it's a European university and America is Eurocentric. So any degree from any of these European universities is widely accepted in the United States. You can go to school here for about $1,000 a year. No getting into debt. Write a check. Write a check. Write a check. See, yeah. So Pinions, you can go to the local farmers market all the time and get the oxtails because they get their butts up. We don't. We be sleeping in, y'all. We be sleeping in. What city do you prefer? How many persons are you looking to purchase a building with? So we're thinking 8 units. That doesn't necessarily mean 8 people. So it's going to be a minute though, Lise. It's going to be a minute before because we want to pay cash. We don't want to finance it. So it's going to be a minute before we save up that much money. Okay, they're talking to each other, and it looks like, oh, here's one more before we get to this last one. Do they have deep freezers? Seems like most other countries don't have deep freezers. There's no room for all of that, Laura. Mm-hmm. There's no room for all of that. So your typical, unless you have a big single family home and you've got a garage or something like that, the notion of stocking up on food and things like that is just not a thing in the city, at least. Maybe out in the villages where you're going to drive to the next city to get to the big Auchan Continent, Lido or Pingeldos or something like that. Our grocery store is literally 4 doors away. And then there's another one when they had their machine went down. And I was like, oh, okay. Or their internet or whatever. So they were closed for a minute and I needed something. I walked 5 minutes more. There was another grocery store. And then 5 minutes after that, there's another grocery store. Literally, we have 1 to 5 grocery stores within less than a 10-minute walk from us.
Yeah.
So stocking up, and then the fruit is usually picked right.
Yeah, the fruit is picked right.
It's not green.
And even the stuff that you refrigerate, different foods, will go bad. It doesn't stay like it stays in the United States because they don't have preservatives in it.
Or as many.
As many preservatives. So it will go bad. And it's like the guacamole you had, I had to toss it out because
we didn't eat it fast.
We didn't eat it fast.
No, these are the same ones I've been having on all along. Thank you. Thank you.
We're not smeg haters.
actually got these from my cousin who is working on the real estate investing course with me because he owns a gold store. And so, yeah. All right, let's get to the last one. I'm going to see. Oh, good. We got all the way down to the end. Was there, what's the name of your neighborhood? So we are in the Ororiosh area. That's where we're at. All right, here we go. Are you ready for the last one?
Okay, the last one is
hold on.
Come on now.
Why isn't it playing?
Oh no, you did something wrong.
Why isn't it playing? What's going on?
You broke it.
What's going on? Now see? I don't know. Let's try it again. It's not playing. I don't know. I think we're going to take it out of the stream and remove it. And then bring it back. So I would, hold on, y'all. You know that this, I broke it. How do we bring something in? We want to bring in a video file. Where is it? This one?
Faro.
Okay. Now you just told them what it is. There we go.
The last one is all the way south. It's Faro. Population is 67,622. It's the capital of the Algarve area.
Yep.
Beautiful down there. Very beautiful. And the weather is a little different too.
It's warmer.
It's got an airport located there. So, if you're living there, you can fly in and out. Quality of life is high. Average healthcare, it says average, but I don't know anywhere in Portugal where it's just average healthcare.
It's probably because access. That's why. Smaller places have less hospitals, right?
It's true. Crime level, low, very low. Again, Portugal. Pollution is low and it's very walkable. I mean, you have beautiful beaches and all over the place.
Yep. Yep.
And like I said, it's at the bottom.
It's the Algarve, y'all. It's the Algarve. You can live in the Algarve for $1,429 a month. The Algarve.
And there's islands around it.
Yes. So let's break down those numbers. So Faro, Portugal. It is the district of Faro down there in the Algarve. And a one-bedroom apartment outside of the city center is going to run you about $626. Utilities about 107, and then of course internet and stuff is still coming in at about 36. That's for cable, internet, etc. For a grand total of $962 for your basic living expenses. Food is going to run you about $200 a month, and then entertainment and extras a little bit more for those two meal that mid-range restaurant. They're talking about $43 per person. That may not surprise me because there's a lot of Brits down in the Algarve, a lot more English speakers down in the Algarve. So if you're afraid of Portuguese and you want to be around more English speakers, Algarve.
They seem to cater more to the English.
And to Brits, not us. And then the inexpensive restaurant, a little bit more expensive down there at €10. You got a monthly pass of about $37 per month. I'm sorry, $10, not €10. Your fitness club is coming in at about 32. Cinema, again, at about $7.56 per person. So for two, about $15, coming in at $268.53 for entertainment, for a total cost of $1,429 in Faro. So here's the thing. Lisbon is probably the most expensive place to live in Portugal. We love Lisbon. We plan to live in Lisbon. Lisbon is still a fraction of the cost. It costs us about a third of what it cost us to live in Denver. Okay? So you can live in Portugal. Think about it, folks. If you are not yet if you do not yet have financial independence and you're trying to get there, the quickest way to get there is to lower your expenses. You could live in your happy place and get to FI more quickly. That is the thing. There is no way that we would have been able to retire in 2022 and stay in Denver. We just couldn't have done it. But since we cut our expenses by 2/3, what was not possible becomes possible.
Yeah.
Right? So to live in Lisbon, it's going to be about $2,600 per person, and not per person, but per family. So one bedroom is going to run you somewhere around 900, etc. Right? It is more expensive here in Lisbon, but Portugal is a beautiful country. It is a beautiful country, and Lisbon is not for everybody.
No.
But I think that there is something in Portugal for everybody. If you want to be around people who have a general compassion and concern for human beings, that's Portugal. No, there is no tourist agency or anything paying us to say that. This is just what we have found. This is why we live here. We live here because when you're going like this, you've got heat exhaustion. People just don't look and keep passing you by. They come up to you and say, "Are you okay? Is there something I can do for you?" I'm not used to that, y'all. I am not used to that. So if you are interested in potentially moving to Portugal, On November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we have the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit. We are partnering with Krishan Wright of Blacksit Global, and we have an amazing lineup for you. All right.
Yes.
We will give you all of the tools. We will have people from all different areas who look like us, from all different areas of Portugal that you can speak to. We will have attorneys, real estate people, rental people, healthcare people. What else? We're going to have language people, and we're going to have people talk about how you can get your money straight so that you can make that move. Because if you're, look, we are not telling anybody to come over here talking about, is there a food bank? That's not how we roll, y'all.
Nope.
That is not how we roll. So Greta looked it up. She said $2,700 per month for a single person is not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
No.
Right? It is not bad at all. We live here for $2,700 a month or less. That's our budget. And, and we're on our way to Spain. That's how you can roll when you can control your costs and lower your expenses. All right. All right, y'all. So we have given it to you. We have given you what you need. 3 places that you can live in Portugal for $1,500 a month or less. Are you packing? Are you packing? I'm trying to tell you. So if you need to do a scouting trip, let me come over to our comments. If you need to do a scouting trip, we have a scouting trip checklist. That information is in the description below. If you need to get your money straight, we have Beyond the Bling. It's Money Mindset Makeover for Financial Independence, where we talk about real estate investing, side hustle, investing in the stock market, how to save more money, make more money, as well as analyze your expenses so that you can see how you can control that cost, as well as creating your own budget. So everything that you need, we got it for you, babe. We got it for you. So Valerina asked, Rick and Halisi, thanks for this wonderful info on these affordable places to live. You are so welcome. My sister stayed in Alvor. I'm not sure where that is recently and loved it. Not too far from Fado. Okay. All right. So it's down there. Bye and see you all next time. See you next week, Valerina. Or on Thursday.
Yeah, actually, we go live this Thursday.
We go live this Thursday.
From Spain.
And we will be in Spain, y'all. So how much is the summit? Right now, you can get the general pass for €97. That's today's prices. That's the early bird price. The all access pass is $197. What is the difference? The all access pass, you will have access to special Q&As with some of the experts, as well as access to the replays for a full year. With the general pass, you will have access to the replays for a month, for 30 days. Okay. So until December something, like December 5th or something like that. So Auntie Trey, all right. I'll be back in February to check out the interior. All right. I'm in Lisbon and Faro. Okay. Jess asks, scouting trip next summer. Great. Thanks to you, I got my money straight and started investing again. Yes, that's right. Is it cheaper to fly out of New York? On what airline? It might be. I would check. And if you're coming in the summer, book 6 months in advance. 6 months, especially if you're going to use points. The airline depends. So, we have flown TAP, but we have also flown United straight into Lisbon. We've flown United through France, but see, we're in one of United's hubs. So Chicago to France to Lisbon was a cheap ticket. So I would check. I would check on Google Flights and then Skyscanner and places like that. So BP, are you talking about income tax or sales tax when there? At one time, the tax scheme was much better here than in Spain. I'm not sure if that is still the case. I hear that it is, but I have not done my homework. So I don't have facts to back that up. Since there are African Americans in Portugal, are there some soul food restaurants? Not so far. But there are soul food ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, we had some black eyed peas today that make you want to slap your mama. Oh my gosh. I tried to recreate the meal that I had earlier, and my meal was good, but it did not compare.
And then
braised ribs. So yeah, you can go to college here. The person that we know who is here on a student visa says her, and she's in a graduate program, is costing her $1,000 per year. Per year. You can write a check for that, right? You can write a check for that. So I think this is going to be one of our shortest yet. It looks like it is. Did we do it? Did we do it?
Yeah. And yes, June, your wife can cook.
Yes, she can cook. She can cook. So I have just put a link to the Move to Portugal Summit in the chat once again. You want to get your tickets now, y'all, because today's prices are not tomorrow's prices. Yes, you can go to college in Germany for free. There are colleges in Germany that are free. BP, absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit coming up in November. We are going live this Thursday. And what are we talking about? I can't remember. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know.
We'll know by Thursday.
We will. If you are in Beyond the Bling, well, we already know it's up there. Somebody might want to look on our channel and let us know what we're talking about. If you are in Beyond the Bling, in 2 weeks, we have our next group coaching session. If you are not in Beyond the Bling and you still need to get your money straight, why aren't you in Beyond the Bling? We have our next group coaching session in 2 weeks. We will see you then. Otherwise, we will see you on Thursday, y'all. We love you.
June, again, thank you for the shirts.
Our lovely shirts. So with that, looking at the ticket prices for May 22nd. Oh, yeah, that's far away. Good. Our meetup is the weekend of Juneteenth. Juneteenth week is when our meetups are. And then we go live on Thursdays at 5 o'clock Eastern time. 5 o'clock Eastern time every other Thursday, 3:30 Eastern time every single Sunday. We are live. We love y'all, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye.